No score. There have been base runners, but not by hits as we begin the third inning. And A.J. Pierzynski to right, but Trot Nixon sliding makes the catch. Pierzynski has been on the ball in this series with 2 homers in the first game. Swinging at the first pitch off Wakefield, but Nixon was the one.
Well, Boomer, a big part of the reason there's no hits is because we've had some outstanding defensive plays that have been made. Creedy with a nice dive, took a hit away from Mirabelli, maybe an RBI, and there's a leadoff single that Trot Nixon takes away from A.J. Pierzynski.
Look at Trot. Maybe the water will help that hat a little bit.
Or make it worse.
You know what he told me? He said that actually this year he had to break down and put some cologne on it after a couple of those Texas games that he played earlier this year.
Deep in the hole, Uribe with the throw. Throw by Renteria, and he gets Creedy. What a play by Renteria, who has struggled so much in the field this year for Boston. Making the 30 errors, but that's the sort of play that we've seen him make in his career.
Well, you know what? They have, as a team, struggled all year defensively. That is an outstanding play by Nixon, by Renteria. If their offense cannot get this crowd into it, they're trying to do it with their defense.
Here is Juan Uribe, the batter, number 9 for the White Sox. He homered. One of the many that homered in game number 1. 3 for 7 with 3 runs scored in this series. You know, not lost on the Red Sox fans was that the other night with Graffinino on second base and a 5-4 deficit in the 9th inning. Renteria rounding out of the first. This one hit pretty well by Uribe. It's back. It's a scraper. And a double for the shortstop of the White Sox.
As Paul Konerko said before the game, he says they are not going to change anything. They're going to hack. They're going to slash. And as Rick was alluding to earlier, sometimes that first pitch is the best pitch to get because you want to get ahead and throw a strike and then expand the strike zone, as we've talked about many times.
And I think Wakefield made a little mistake right there, kind of just taking the number 9 guy for granted. That's just a little cut fastball, no movement whatsoever. And Boomer, he's real fortunate it stayed in the park. Mike was talking about that wall, how close it is before the game. But like Aaron said, we got to clean that up.
I don't know anything that's clean. This is new for me. Analyzing things.
Certainly not Trot Nixon's hat. Scott Podsednik is up.
It's the theme.
Just the juxtaposition to finish the story that here's Orlando Cabrera, the shortstop on these Red Sox, last year delivering the game-winning hit late Wednesday night for the Angels over the Yankees. Renteria with the Graffinino with the tying run at second base couldn't deliver the hit with 2 outs against Jenks in Chicago, so naturally that made the Boston papers the juxtaposition.
The Mirabelli here is going out and saying, look, we got 2 hitters to get 1 out. Basically, we have a base open, so you don't have to throw him a cookie here, as we said earlier.
You know, but I think right along with that, Mike, he's going to ask Wakefield what he's thinking here. You want to throw a fastball, you want to throw the knuckleball, you got the base open, but the difference to me with Podsednik as opposed to Johnny Damon, the Red Sox leadoff hitter, Damon, he drove in 75 runs. Podsednik only 25. I got to challenge him.
Right. That will tell you something. 8 for 15. Runners in scoring position, and Uribe is that right now.
That's clutch hitting right there. I don't think your manager really can ask for anything more.
Reaches out and goes the other way, and this will squirt all the way to the wall. There's another runner in scoring position. Delivered. Double Podsednik, all with 2 outs. White Sox on a board.
The theme about going the other way there. Scotty just backed off the throttle a little bit. Played a little tennis with that left field line. Picked up an RBI. And as we said about 2-out hits, Rick.
They're hard to find, boy. Very seldom do you get them. It was a knuckleball that just never came down. It actually went away from Podsednik instead of into him, as normally Wakefield will get with that movement. I think he's lost the feel for it somehow between the last inning and this one. He really has not gotten anybody out other than the great defense.
There's a base knock by Iguchi, and Podsednik very quickly scores, and it's 2-0 White Sox.
Terry Francona was saying before the game how Wakefield's really the toughest guy he's got to get a read on. I mean, you never know when he's going to get it or when it's going to get away from him. Right now, he's just not getting any kind of movement. That's a great piece of hitting right there, a lot like the curveball that he hit out of the ballpark on Wells, but the other pitches have been mistakes.
Jermaine Dye will try a hack at it. Of course, Iguchi's home run coming with 2 outs in game number 2. Plenty of runs for the White Sox in game 1, coming with 2 outs, including the 3-run homer by Brzezinski in the first. That's really a stepping on the throat type of approach, isn't it?
You know, Boomer, talking about that grip, Mike, you know, we were saying before, it's not a true knuckleball. It's actually a fingertip ball that Wakefield throws when he releases it. You add some moisture in the area, it's going to get tougher.
And you see these guys all the time working on their nails.
Yeah.
Getting acrylic nails. I mean, pedicures. So one thing they do. Not me.
Why are you hiding your nails?
Dye reaches out to right center field. Iguchi will go to third base. So all this coming out of nowhere with 2 outs. 4 straight hits Chicago.
1 2-out hit is golden. 2 is even better. I mean, 3. The 2-out theme. These guys are getting clutch hits with 2 outs. They're just going with the ball. They're not trying to do too much. They're not looking at the monster. They're not going for the home run. They're just seeing that ball, and like I said, almost playing tennis with it. Like, okay, it's away. Let me just put that ball away. Let me just tap it out there. The easy swings as well. They're not taking full hacks, and their helmet's not coming off, and their shoes aren't coming untied.
Well, here's the dangerous Paul Konerko with Iguchi off third and Dye off first. So supposing Nixon doesn't slide and make the catch, and Renteria doesn't make the play so deep in the hole, then where are we?
We've got activity in the bullpen. You know, the guy that Carl Everett was replaced with the last couple of days of the year in that third spot, Jermaine Dye, came up with a big home run, the 200th of the year for the White Sox in that last game, and he comes through again.
And Wakefield, we started to tell you, pitched very well down the stretch, 8-3, but was touched up by the Yankees here at Fenway on the 1st of October in his last start. And Division Series career different. That really doesn't tell the story of all his postseason, where we do remember 2003 how outstanding he was, even though he gave up the home run to Boone, and that sounds like a funny thing to say, but won a couple of games against the Yankees. So in postseason, nothing new for Wakefield. This is his 16th postseason start. We'd like to close the door right here with 2 on, 2 home, 2 out.
I was wondering right there. We saw Iguchi. They're going to run it, Mike, as you said, as much as they can. I was wondering if maybe with the 2 strikes here, if Jermaine Dye didn't think about keeping that tone of being aggressive.
It'd be interesting to see if they throw down and try and throw him out or just hold the ball.
Hit to right field, but Trot Nixon is there. So 2 are stranded, but 2 come home. The White Sox grab the lead on Tim Wakefield in Boston, 2-0.